What's up, Digidestins? Did you hear the bell? That means it's another day in the market watch. So guys, let's talk about it. I know this is pre-release weekend, so I wanted to look over a little bit of all the cards that are getting listed, and some of these are already dropping from where they were on Friday. So it was kind of necessary, in my opinion, to get into this video with another market watch this week because we're seeing such a dip down. So guys, without further ado, let's get into the video and talk about it. So, Shoutmon Superior Mode Alternate Art Gold version. So, of course, we know that this card is going to be one of the expensive cards. It is a chase card. It's a harder to get your hands on kind of card. So, with Superior Mode times 7, even on the Europe market, kind of expensive, $500 range for us, but they're almost in the €800 range kind of comfortably, and that's scary to see. But taking a quick look across the board, Superior Mode alternate arts are like $60 right now, and then regular is 19. So let's take a look even further here. The reason why nobody really buy into the pre-sales for this, just waited for it to come down. It is a two copy kind of card, 3 max. You're not playing a full play set of this card, so secrets like this kind of just dip down, and that's not terrible to look at here. Then we have Superior Mode BT-12 on the Europe side, already looking into the €50 range, a little bit cheaper than us. They're already cusping at their low end of €40 range, kind of like €37.69. Kind of good to see it come down from there. Then we have regular Superior Mode across time. People are comfortably buying in the $19 range, so that kind of proves that this should drop down to maybe a $15 to almost a $10 card. So not terrible at all. That's a pretty solid deal for this kind of deck, especially since that would be quite more expensive in some circumstances. But hey, taking a look, that's not terrible in the market. I think that's pretty dang solid. You know what I mean? So, I mean, if we're going to take a look at it, even on the Europe side, already hitting €10. Like I said, not surprising to see a cusp of this very quickly. It is a 2 of 3 on max, and it's going to be decently priced. I don't think it's going to be that broken of a value card. Then we have Tai Kamiya, alternate art across time. We're looking like $26. Coming down. So not terrible. I mean, there are potentials here, and I don't see objections on this. Let's see. Europe side, looking like €33 to €40 range. Okay. That kind of expected. Again, Tai is one of those cards that you're going to want to play set of. A Chaosdramon Superior Mode alternate art, one of the cards that is either 3 or, a full play set of for the, Hunter's deck. So taking a look right now, we're looking mighty differently here. We're kind of expensive in the $30 range, which isn't terrible, not bad. Superior Mode, €33 to €35. Kind of we're in the same boat here. So, I mean, the Hunter's deck is going to be one of those scarier decks, but the problem comes down to, I don't think with Beelzemon X being the deck to beat this format, and I'm going to be quite honest with you, everybody is jumping on that bandwagon because of such an easy entry point. I'm not going to be surprised if it is expensive. Beelzemon X Antibody across time. So this card we're going to talk about here was sitting lovely at $10. People started buying it at mass quantities in that $10 range, and I'm not surprised. There was actually a good full stock at one point. Now it's sitting in the $25 range. Kind of expected. It's not a cheap card, and I won't expect this to be cheap. Beelzemon being one of the best decks in format really is going to change things up, and I think keeping that in mind is going to make or break the differences here. So I think keeping that going forwards is smart play. Europe side looking like where we've just been bought out. So not terrible. Like they cap out at €17 and their low end is €8.50. Not terrible. Darkness Bagramon alternate art black and white, $850. I don't understand. This deck is terrible. On play, when Digivolving, delete one of your opponent's Digimon. Then you may play up to 5 Digimon cards with Bagra Army and its traits from your... May place up to 5 Digimon cards with Bagra Army traits from your trash as a Digi-evolution of this Digimon. So already it struggles because you're restricted into Darkness Bagra. You know, you're going to have to do some crazy shenanigans to get this deck to work, and it's already going to be tough doing so. An opponent turn, when an opponent's Digimon digivolves or attacks by trashing 5 of its Digivolution cards, return all Tamers to their owner's hand. So, I mean, for any Tamer-centric meta in the future, you could see possibly something with this, but the problem comes down to is this deck just can't do anything. I mean, even with Digicross 3, this brings it down to a 10 cost, and if you had the U's going, maybe works for you. It's just, there's a lot of things going on that just doesn't always mesh well, in my opinion, and that's going to really cause some problems here. So, I think at the end of the day, I don't expect this to be expensive. Already Euro looking like cheaper version, so 450 euros, not terrible over on their side. Darkness Bagramon across time, looking like Creepymon status here. Again, I told you this card is in a bad archetype. And that's really what the problem is. The Bagra army needs a lot of support before it's actually justified to actually be good. And it's got some decent meshing and understanding of what it wants to do. But the problem comes down to is Darkness Bagra is just the top end to a bad deck. If this was any other way of playing it, if it wasn't restricted to Bagra army and it was put 5 cards in your trash from your trash into this Digievolution cards, and you get to pick the inheritables, this might be actually really nasty strong. But the problem comes down to is the fact that it is restricted into the Bagra army traits is what's hurting it. This thing could have been really nasty because of the fact of if this is played in any purple deck, you know, future support or anything like that, anything that you can think of. I mean, yes, you want Bagra because Bagra takes advantage when their stuff is trashed. You gain memory to extend your plays, but it's a tough call here. I think this is a really bad design on a possibly great card. Its interaction, it's very powerful. It's the fact of it's in a bad deck. Let's see, Europe side. Okay. We're looking like €7 range to 15. They'll probably come down to us shortly. Then we have Chaosdramon X Antibody. Again, I talk Machine Dramon talk all the time, and I'm hyped for it. We're at $3. $3, not terrible. Chaosdramon X Antibody, looking like €3 to €4. Okay. Kind of in that price range, not terrible. And again, Chaosdramon X Antibody is really solid for the Machine Dramon deck, and it's kind of that top end that it needed so that they don't get triple D Digivolve. So Burning Greymon across time pre-release cards. So this is just good to see. People are buying it in the $25 range. Expect it to come down just a little bit more, but I don't expect it to come down much more. 7th Full Cluster. This card definitely coming down. I do not see it holding in the $20 range comfortably. It is a 1, maybe 2 of for your deck. I don't see anything more with that. Beelzemon X Antibody across time, especially another card for your X Antibody deck for you know who. So, Beelzemon, there's just nothing you can do against it. But, wow, that's just pretty much that. Shoutmon King version across time pre-release, looking like €20. Not terrible. Doraemon promo limited cards. The reason why I didn't show anything for the Europe market for the pre-release cards, stamped cards, is that they don't have them listed yet. And I can't list something that doesn't have value. So Doraemon limited pack. So the security rookies, definitely seeing a good $4 price. I already got my playset of Dorus, so I'm kind of happy that I already got them. Then kind of looking like €10 to €15. Huckmon promos, the security rookie here at the end of the battle. Delete one of your opponent's Digimon for 4,000 DP. If no Digimon was deleted by this effect, draw a card, then add this card to its owner's hand. I think it's not terrible. I like the effects. They're very useful. I mean, hey, $4 to $5 for this card, not terrible. And Huckmon is pretty decent. Europe side looking like 7 to 9 euros. I have yet to pull that, by the way. Hisuramon is basically a $3 card. That's what it is, right? Europe side, 6 to 7 euros. Ipmon. Ipmon has, at the end of the battle, you may play one level 3 Digimon card from your trash without paying its cost, and then add this card to your hand. Or is it play this card? There's a line of text is missing. It's missing a line of text. There's an errata on it. One of the two, it's either play it or add it to your hand. Looking like 8 euros, $8, I mean, not terrible, especially since these are pretty much not overly played. These cards will definitely see some sort of play. And what do I mean by this? This one should see play in the Beelzemon decks very easily. That is just common sense here. And then from there, you should be seeing any of the other security rookies. Might make some small appearances, but kind of good to see them in fair prices. Europe side looking kind of expensive for 14 to 15 euros. Okay, I see where you're going. And that's kind of all we have for the Market Watch today. I know it's not like crazy covering all other cards, but I figured because the pre-sale prices and everything like that get a little bit hectic during this time of the season, it's kind of good to take a look at them and get a good understanding of what's going on, especially during a pre-release weekend where prices kind of just fluctuate and stuff like that very quickly. And we know what happens. A lot of people are trading, doing this. Usually the rule of thumb with kind of selling and trading during pre-release, you knock it down a little bit more. You know, you bring in probably just like 75%, unless you're doing like even trade. If you're gonna do trades, you go with a 85% trade value, so it knocks it down a little bit and you're kind of both in that kind of range. And then when you guys get to the selling aspect for cash value, then kind of just think about it in fairness. Like, the pre-release stamps are kind of out there for expensivity, and you know, to be honest with you, even taking a look here, let's take a quick gander at all of it, high to low. You know, Burning Rise, 7 full cluster, Aguni, Jet Merva, Aldamon, Metal Greymon, Monemon, Lampmon. You know, cards are kind of expensive. Dino Beemon for 15. Yeah, Pyldramon for 15. These aren't going to hold that price. You know, by this end of the weekend and starting into, we should start seeing this go down. You know, a lot of this will come down in the long game. You know, Super Eradicator attack, like, this thing was at $20. I picked these up at 4s. So I'm not too upset with that. That price range is pretty decent. But stuff like this is good to understand what's going on and what you want to do. And I think understanding that is going to be 9/10 of the battle. And, you know, hey, it's knowledge is more powerful with like cards like this. This card is a maybe played at, but we'll have to see. You know, Final Crossblade is a decent delete one of your opponent's Digimon, then you may unspend one of your Shoutmon superior modes cards and attack a player with it. You know, stuff like this does add up. And it's good to see, knock down it by 75 if it's cash value, trade value. You know, you can go to 85 for pre-release weekend. In my opinion, those are kind of just justified in those range. So 75 cash value, and then, you know, 85 that way. So guys, what did you think of the Market Watch? Let me know down in the comments. Hopefully you guys made some decent headway trades in your, you know, hunts this weekend. And let me know down in the comments what are some of your best pulls. And guys, let's stay safe, stay healthy, and I'll catch you next one. Peace!